Welcome to Wood Talk. Now here are three guys who have chiseled good looks in their joinery. Marc, Shannon, and Matt.
What's happening, everybody? It is show number 589. And on today's show, we're talking about using beeswax in finish, cleaning up an old saw, and can I run these through planer? Nobody wanted to add any extra stuff to that to make that make sense?
I just pasted it right in from the inbox. That's what the question title was. So
isn't that basically like an entire YouTube channel? Or like all they do is shorts.
Will
Can I
it
run
plane?
this through the planer?
Sounds like a good
plane?
one.
Yeah,
Will it
seriously? Worst part is I would probably watch that.
That's
be good.
Actually a fantastic idea. All right, I'll do it. All that and more coming up, but first we want to let you know that Wood Talk is proudly sponsored by Woodcraft. Woodcraft is the leading authority in woodworking, making, and creating. They have lots of tools, supplies, expertise, and the hands-on classes that inspire creativity at every level. Learn more at woodcraft.com.
And if you want to also support the show, because this thing is not just Woodcraft, it's all you guys too. It's sponsored by the generous contributions of people like you. It's a roundabout way of getting to that point.
Keeps getting higher. Keeps getting higher.
If you want to help support the show, you can do so by going to patreon.com/woodtalk and signing up to become a patron of the show. We got some people to thank here. We're thanking David Lennartson, small child running by, and Chapman. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Oh, there goes another one. Catch them.
There's things going on here.
I think that was the same one.
Are those your kids, or is it just like neighborhood kids?
That looks like my daughter.
Feral children running through your house.
Yes, they're all feral. Okay. They're very feral. Related to me.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay.
They are. They went full.
You know what, guys? We've got a really important thing to announce. Something we haven't done in a very long time, and I'm so excited about it.
We're quitting.
We're quitting. Yes, it's been a while, but frankly,
it was not rehearsed. We both went there naturally.
Yeah. It's about that time.
It's been a while.
It's also time for me to move, according to many people. So it actually is giveaway time. We're going to give something away. And I believe Shannon has one out of the box. I have one in the box over here if you're watching on our YouTube version of the show. This is the Wood River number 91 small shoulder plane. Look at this thing. Look at it. It's a beauty. And I'm going to tell you why we're giving one away.
Then it's the large shoulder.
That's right.
Correct. Normal people plane.
Perfect fit for his hand. The reason I'm giving this away is because just the order mix up, and I ended up with two of these. I do not need two of these, in spite of the fact that I do have two hands. I know. I could be double fisting the situation, but
this hand is sad.
Instead of that, I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to give this away, and I'll ship it out to somebody in the U.S. preferably. So what we're going to do, make it super simple. I don't really care to retain anyone's information. I just want to put this in the hands of someone who could use it. So we're going to have a Google form for you. I'm going to give the URL. It's forms.gle/89AA, capital U, capital T, lowercase mbk, capital Q, lowercase mo, not 0, 96, capital D, lowercase j, 9. Did you get all that?
I think if you manually type this in, you automatically win.
Seriously, that's all that's required.
Okay.
If you get the page to load, send us a screenshot of the loaded page and you're in.
Well, you're going to have to go to our show notes and find the link and just go in there. I'm just asking for your name, your email, and your mailing address so that we know that you're in the U.S. And by the next show, I'm going to randomly pick a winner. We'll announce them on the next show, and I will ship this bad boy out to you, and you will enjoy it, and you'll use it and tell us how much you love it.
You'll use it.
You'll get this and like it.
You must. If you don't use it, then don't. If you don't think you're going to use it, don't do the giveaway. Leave it for people who actually want it. So thanks, I almost said Wood River, but it's Woodcraft, for sending the extra one, because now someone else is going to benefit from it. And I think that's awesome. Gotten away from giveaways as just like a regular thing. I like doing them. The giveaway hounds ruined it. Honestly, that's what happened. Okay.
Giveaway.
Yep.
Now, that's what's going to be on your bench soon, people. But now we're going to talk about what's on our benches. Not a lot of progress for me. Still working on the built-in desk. It's just one of those things. It's, kids going back to school. It's a real tough time to get like steady work. And this is totally one of those projects that every time I lose a day, like today, every time I lose a day and have to get back into it, I have to like reorient my brain make sure I'm not making any mistakes, and then get back into it. So the progress is extremely slow. And I let Nicole know today that at this pace, I'm likely going to probably be another 2 months on this project if I can't figure out a way to increase the pace.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Real fun.
At least you're moving forward, though.
How do you
In mud.
just as like a shop note type thing? I talk about this with hand tool school students a lot, like holding your place in a project when you know you're going to be in and out and back and forth.
Yeah.
Do you like keep like a log, or do you like jot down like, here's what I did last? And especially from a filming perspective, I find that I have to like, here's the shot that I just took.
Yeah.
And I've got my build order, but then I've also got my like storyboard.
It's a second thing to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two things. I will jot down if it's something that's not obvious, like critical, that, okay, I just finished this point. Here's where I'm going to start again. Got a big whiteboard in the shop that I could use for that. But Todd doesn't download the videos right away. So at the end of every day, I offload the card. It uploads on Dropbox. So usually like Monday morning after a weekend, I can actually come in and typically the last set of files I uploaded are still just sitting there. So I kind of preview those files and see where I left off. And that helps with both things. It lets me know where I was filming, where I left off, and then where I left off in the project itself. So works for me.
Yeah. I find that it's a excuse. Sounds like I'm judging, because if that's the case, I use it as an excuse a lot to like not get started. Like I've got 10 minutes of free time or 15 minutes of free time. And like, I could get a lot done if I just went into the shop and started working, but I go in there and I like, if I don't know where I left off, you faff about for, 30 minutes and then you're out of time. So I do my best. I don't have a whiteboard. I literally just write on the side with a dry erase pen on the side of my air cleaner. Powder coated. It works just as fine. Yeah. Right. Like where I left off and what I was working on. And I find that just being able to come in, look at that and go, got it. And I can get to work in like 30 seconds. It's amazing how far 10 minutes of free time can go in the shop.
If you actually use it. Yeah.
If you use it. Yeah.
Well, I usually complain about Fridays. Fridays, we have the live show in the morning, and that starts kind of late for me as far as like starting my work day at 9. So it's already starting late. We do the show, takes up a good hour. By the time I get to the shop, it's like time for lunch. And then I only have a short day at that point, and it's amazing. It's totally a me thing, but it's really hard for me to dive back into that project knowing I only have a short period of time, and then it's the weekend again. So a lot of times, a lot of that time just gets wasted. Nothing's ever wasted because I've got like 30 emails just sitting there waiting for me to find time to answer. So I'll usually do some of that, but it is very like daunting. I find as long as I've been doing this, it's still very daunting when I have too many interruptions in a big build like this. So hopefully it'll get moving a little bit like quicker because it's driving me crazy and I need it to, it's becoming the albatross project, right? Like you just need to get it done and behind you. So what about you, Matt?
I don't know anything about that as you look at the case that's sitting on my bench that's been there for 6 months.
Right.
At least there aren't any more doors and windows in your shop anymore.
That's true.
Or whatever the heck it was. Siding. No. Wait. What was it? Doors? No.
Yeah,
windows.
he had it was getting replacement windows, right?
Yeah. Those are up. Those are installed.
Wonderful.
Anyway.
That didn't help with the productivity in the shop. So
No,
that's what I'm getting
didn't.
at with that one.
Definitely didn't. It doesn't help that I've also got, I actually do have cladding, but it's not my cladding. It's cladding from the office that's sitting in my shop, taking up a lot of space.
Took it off the office and like, you guys don't need this on your building anymore.
Yeah. I also need to like give up this bike box. Like I grew up as a cyclist, always keep the bike box in case you ever need to travel. It's like, I don't need this box. Like I have no place to put this box in my house. Yeah. Like it does not fit in the closets. So it's just leaning against the shop wall. And I keep thinking I need to do it. But like, am I really going to travel with this bike? And if so, like, would I trust just putting it in a cardboard box? No, I'm probably going to go buy an actual bike carrier to do it in.
Something proper.
So I just need to get rid of the damn bike box that's been there since January. It's terrible.
I feel the same way about TV boxes. Having moved as many times as I have, there have been times where like, if I just had the box and the stupid styrofoam that was custom made for that TV, this would not be that hard. And I regret having gotten rid of it. So I know what you mean.
In my case, there's no custom fit styrofoam. It's literally just a big empty box.
Right. There's something else.
There's no French fitting to this. It's take the wheel off, shove it in the box. So there's no excuse for it.
Right. All right, Matt. Tell us about your wood.
Oh man, it's kind of the same thing as that we've been talking about. It's like actually like getting things cleaned up and put away. So I finished up my round of Sawmill making videos, and as part of that, I tend to like just cut the wood and just like leave it in a pile, and like that's where I end the video. But then there's like actual work that has to happen after that. Like you actually have to like sticker it all and stack it and put it away somewhere. So in this last round, I was just sawing and wrapping the video, sawing and wrapping the video, sawing and wrapping the video, and had just like wood just piled up everywhere in the driveway. So that I'm like, okay, well now I can actually like just spend the time to just stack a stack at once, or stack each stack, whenever, however I feel like doing it, whenever I feel like being out there, just get one whole log stickered and get it out of the driveway, and then just kind of work my way through that. I don't know, I just kind of find that it works a little bit better for my workflow because I don't have to worry about doing that on camera or thinking about that in the moment. That I can get through the sawing video faster and be done with it. And most of the time, that's not something that we even show in the video that much. So it's like, why am I even doing that during the production time of that video, where I could just be like moving on to the next one, and I can just do this all at once as more of a batch process. So that's one part of it. And then I don't know if you know this, but turning something that's like a cylinder into like things that are rectangular makes a lot of mess. It makes a lot of waste. So then there's like all the cleanup that has to happen, all the offcuts, they got to like find somewhere to go, the burn pile, all the sawdust that has to get scooped up. So one of the really nice things that I'm very spoiled with now, being out here, is the fact that I can just pick up the entire sawmill, move it all away, and come back with a bucket on the skid steer and just the whole area all at once. Just
Scoop it up.
Scoop the whole thing, because you know the stuff that comes out of the chute and lands a nice pile, that's easy to pick up even without moving the sawmill. You can just come through with the bucket and scoop it up. But there is so much stuff that ends up like under the bed, in the bunks. Like any sawdust that doesn't make it out of the chute is there. Bark chips, pieces of wood, little offcuts that kind of fell off, whatever. They're all laying there in the bunks. And at the old house, I used to go through there with a shovel and just try and shovel around all the feet and all the bunks. And it was a pain in the butt. And I didn't do it very often. So it was just like a mess of marsh mushness stuff under there after a while. So at least now it's more like I can literally just like reset the space. That's what I've been doing the last, couple of weeks. It's just kind of working my way through resetting the driveway into a basically blank slate again. So
nice.
It's a workflow.
Honestly,
work for me, at least.
That's what most of the guys I know that operate, some of them with rubber tire, wood misers or whatever, even the ones that are not, like they're on a yard with forklifts, and it's just like, don't just pick it up, move it out of the way, scoop it up with a bulldozer and get the hell out of there. So
Put it back. Yeah.
That's the last page of your Sawmill plans book is now build a forklift to scoop up all the dust.
We call it the
very
Cremona
different
dustpan
way of working. Yeah. And that's kind of interesting. It's like a side note too with this topic is that the comments I receive are like, I totally understand because I was there. They're from people that have never had a forklift or had that style of being able to work, because they're so concerned about where you put things and having to move things more than once or whatever. Whereas this lifestyle now, when you have a machine to do it for you, it's immaterial. Like if you put something
lifestyle
in the wrong spot, it's not any more work to just move it. Versus, I know
I have a planer that isn't going to move ever. It can't. I physically cannot move it unless I have somebody with like a skid steer or something with a set of forks, because otherwise I do not have the capability to move it. And I am making decisions about shop organization based on the fact that it is not moving.
Yep.
I don't live your lifestyle.
I didn't used to live this lifestyle either. Even with the slabs in the wood, it's like, okay, where is the stack of slabs going to be? That's where it's going to be. That's where I'm going to put it, and that's where it's going to stay until it's dried and get ready and sold and out of here, because I'm not going to be able to move this whole stack again.
Right.
But now it's like, I put a stack here. It's not a good spot for it right now. Okay, pick it up and move it somewhere. It's irrelevant now. It's very weird. And then I guess going back even further is one of the reasons I had like mentally put off or not wanted to have any sort of machinery is because I knew it would make me this way, and it has made me incredibly lazy. Like so incredibly lazy. Before I had my skid steer, like a stack of like boards or whatever, nothing heavy, just a lot of boards. Yeah, sure. I'll move them. I'll restack them. It's not a big deal. A couple hours of moving boards. If it's not palletized now, I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather throw it away in the garbage than like have to stack stuff and move things more than once.
Yeah.
It's just weird mental shift in my mind now.
I mean, it's cumulative. You know, you may have a huge rest in between, but you're still like lifting heavy boards. Like, you know, I got guys on the yard that like, hey, can you bring that board over to the shed because it's, you know, a quarter-mile walk over to the other side of the yard. I'm not going to carry that board. And they're like, yeah, let me go get the lift. And they'll walk like an eighth of a mile to get the lift and drive an eighth of a mile back. And it's like, yeah, I mean, why would I lift that when I got this machine that can do it for you? It's like, well, maybe throw some like another pack on there so you're not just carrying that single board across the yard. No, I'll go back and get that pack later.
I relate to that so much because like even now between the shop and the barn, it's 400 feet. I almost never carry anything between those two spots. Like I will go get the skid steer to come back here to the shop to bring something back out to the barn. Like that's where I'm at mentally now with stuff.
What a life.
It's fantastic.
That's so
Forklift
great.
lifestyle. I love it. Matt's going to outlive us all because he's not going to have the wear and tear on his joints.
Yeah, no
but
kidding.
also I'm fat, so there's that. And I don't have any more like cardio ability.
Oh, we have a visitor. Yes.
A package guy. Okay, tell Mom.
Oh,
She's
go
over
take
there.
care of the
She's in
package guy.
office. Thank you.
It's good. She doesn't answer the door. Nice job.
She probably did already. She's probably like, they're like, "Where's your parents?"
Oh, hold on,
Someone
package
needs a
guy.
signature or something.
I'm gonna go tell my dad. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear about your big moving stuff.
Thank you, Mark.
Good job. Good job moving stuff.
So sincere.
You know what's gonna have to happen when I do need to move my planer is Matt's. Oh, okay, there she goes. Hold on. We got some
She's
background
walking
activity.
on the phone. Hang on.
She's making things happen.
There's
She's Lindsay Cremona. Look out.
Cremona action.
The look on her
in the
face
back.
when she realized that I'm recording and she's walking by with the call on speakerphone.
Hopefully it wasn't anything bad. All right. Well, Shannon, what about you? What do you got going on?
I went up to Maine to visit my in-laws, and I hadn't been up there in a couple of years. It just hasn't worked out the last couple of years, and boy, I was glad to be back.
Nice.
But the whole reason we went is my father-in-law dislocated his hip getting out of his sailboat. So, I went up kind of in a hurry. We were going to go up that weekend, but we ended up going up on a Tuesday night or whatever. Ended up spending most of my trip like fixing the dock, like where he fell. He like fell on the railing and it didn't break or crack anything, but it was just awful jiggly at that point. You put a lot of weight into the whole thing. So I was, those floating docks that have the ramp that raise and lower with the tide as it comes in and goes. So I spent some time working on that, which was a new experience. Every time you take me out of my shop and make me do woodworking, I'm useless without like my vices and like my workbench and all that. But now I was working on something that was ebbing and flowing with tide and as boats go by. That was interesting.
Is that good for your stomach? You enjoy that?
Fortunately, I'm not really a motion sickness type person, but
lucky you.
Like trying to
very
like
similar
mark
to
things.
working up on a lift because the lift is always kind of moving a little bit.
You're moving around. There was nothing stable about it. And you'd have to time things if, a boat would roll by and the swells would start coming in. I mean, it really wasn't, let's be real. It was fun because I'm like out. I've got this beautiful view of a lighthouse and this rocky Maine coast and I'm out in the sunshine. The weather's nice, but yeah, that was a new experience working as I was bobbing up and down. But I took care of that, fixed a couple of moorings, I swam in some really cold water. But the other side of this is I have a kit of tools that I leave up there. And I built one of those Japanese toolboxes as a hand tool school project years ago. And I've just always kept those tools there. But I've always been up once a year to like use them and kind of put them to work. So in that toolbox is one of those like plain socks that from Lee Valley that's kind of meant to keep the rust at bay. There's also a Z rust emitter inside the toolbox. I keep the chisels in like an oilcloth chisel wrap. So for the most part, like they're pretty well protected. But what I discovered is that's pretty well protected as long as you use them like once a year. Because I went up and it's been 2.5 years since I've had a chance to use them. And boy, do they need some work. So I spent a fair bit of time like derusting and re-oiling and all that. But it just makes me like realize how much like the number one rust prevention recipe, I hear this all the time, is just use your tools. Just use them. Like the hand oil itself goes such a long, long way. And that's all I was doing was like using those tools maybe 4 days out of the year, but I wasn't doing anything else. I mean, yes, I was putting them in preventative things, but I wasn't applying anything. Certainly the Z-Rust, I think that's the brand name, the little emitter that goes in your toolbox that spreads it with tiny little microscopic cancerous particles, I'm sure. I suppose that would go a long way, but those things don't, like if you keep opening the toolbox, they're useless, because you're sweeping away all the particles. But it was a night and day. Like there was a lot of patina. Patina's being nice for what was on these tools. So I had to do a fair bit of cleanup on that, which was kind of shocking because I was thinking about when was the last time I did any kind of cleanup on my tools in my own shop. I can't remember because I used them. Go figure.
Now they're
funny how that works.
I had a interesting experience moving to Missouri, and not with my woodworking tools because I'm in a conditioned space, and it gets a little bit more humid here, but again, they're used, it's not a problem. Where I found a problem was the home tools in my garage because it's not conditioned. So I had things that I totally took for granted being in Denver, like Allen wrenches, entire Allen wrench sets just rusted. That have to all be cleaned up and, just done something to protect them a little bit. So the home garage has been brutal on so many different tools. The shop, thankfully, hasn't been so bad. Well, that's cool. That sounds like fun. I saw some of the pictures, you enjoying a beer and a picture of your puppy on your lap and all that good stuff.
He is not a fan of the dock. No. Not a fan at all.
Nope. Doesn't take to water. Does it get in the water at all?
No. I mean, he's a Border Collie Black Lab, but obviously the Border Collie won out in the genetic soup because there is no water dog in him whatsoever.
Okay.
I've tried to take him swimming. It's truly pathetic. Like I'm ready to jump in and save him when you take him swimming. He's awful. Our Black Lab grew up around the beach, wanted nothing to do with water, scared to death of the water. That's funny.
As Jack's back in the day. All right, let's get to some Kickback. Is where you guys have some stuff to say, and we tell people about it because we think it's fun, funny, or interesting. Von Welch wrote in. He left a comment. He says, +1 on Marc's comment on the algorithms driving me nuts. I feel like I have to work hard to find the good content. And +1 to Shannon in that Matt should talk more about his milling decisions. There you go. There's a vote for you, Matt.
I'm surprised you don't talk more about you. You should talk more about your...
You should. And why didn't you talk more about it?
I love how the should is in quotes. That's probably the best part.
Yeah.
All right. I got the next one. Yes, Michael Hogan. Here's a thumbs up vote from Matt's radio ad style reading of announcements, etc. Whatever gentle ribbing is offered by co-hosts.
We're good at that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our brand. This is from Cliff on modeling in episode 579, Pottery Wheel Hooch. So thank you for including that title. Cliff. Thank you for that.
It's the best part.
We discussed modeling programs. I do my modeling on an iPad with an Apple Pencil. It's glorious. I use Shaper 3D. It's $30 a month, but everything I've ever needed can be done for free. If you don't register, you can only save one file at a time. So I just do multiple projects in the same file. Hey, works out. Learning curve sucks, but there are great tutorials on YouTube. All right, so let me make sure I'm getting this right. So Shaper 3D is the software, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, because that's not affiliated with the Shaper, like little CNC domino tape type router, right?
I had to double check the same thing, and I do not believe it is part of the Shaper Origin Kingdom.
Okay, so that's where I got confused with this comment. So Shaper 3D is I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm always looking for modeling programs.
It says combine Mac OS, iPad OS, Windows, and Vision OS devices to match your ideal workflow. It's definitely aiming at like newer age technology, touchscreen displays, things like that. So, I mean, that sounds compelling to use an Apple Pencil. I mean, obviously the learning curve is always the problem.
Yeah.
But it does look like it's pretty capable and kind of neat. Might be something to look into.
Thanks, Very Cliff. Nice. I love new stuff like that. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you guys know who doesn't sell pottery wheel hooches?
Maybe they do. Who knows?
You never know.
There's always an aisle in the back that no one ever goes to, or maybe it's behind a curtain, or like a bead curtain.
Yeah, it's got to be a bead curtain. Absolutely.
The adult section in the back.
Yeah, like, like the video stores used to have behind those curtains.
I miss video rental. Come on, man. A large part of my high school.
Woodcraft, you guys hear that? You need a curtained off room in the back for the special stuff. Special tools. All right. Well, on a better note, don't miss Woodpeckers Live at Woodcraft.
Oh my gosh.
So get this. This is actually really, really cool. Friday, September 12th at 11 a.m. and Saturday, September 13th at 1 p.m. for exclusive demos plus tool highlights all day long. So Woodpeckers, you guys know them, the company that makes the red tools.
The red stuff.
The red stuff.
Yes.
They are one of those companies that makes a lot of cool stuff. And, it's not the cheapest stuff in the world, right? And they're usually, if I'm not mistaken, all manufactured in the U.S. and the price reflects that level of quality. And it's something you really want to get your hands on. And seeing it in person is it's really helpful. If you're really trying to justify the price tag, that's the best way to do it. So this is fantastic. You've got these 2 days where you can go see some demos. You could probably ask if you could gently touch them and see for yourself if it's something that you want to buy into. I love that they're doing this. So while you're there, you could sign up for the sweepstakes that they have. You could win a premium router table package that's worth $1,800, a joinery sled valued at $320, or a $100 Woodcraft gift card. No purchase is necessary, so you just kind of show up and sign up. During the event, you can also enjoy 15% off all Woodpeckers products. So how about that? You go there, you see the demo, you go, hey, that ruler thing that you guys have, that Palini pocket square,
the ruler
that
thing, whatever you want to call it,
the Delvey hooch. What else do they have? Did all the squares with numbers on them?
Squares with various numbers that mean something.
I'll tell you what, that big ass square, the big one, like the big 24-inch framing square, is fantastic.
That was my entry into it, and then there was more that came afterwards. So the same thing. I was going to say that too. It's like a lot of it's like you got to get your hands on it and be like, oh, this is actually really well made and really handy.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you think about it, that's the size range that previously a drywall square was like the only thing that would get me kind of close, except for it was a drywall square. Imagine having an accurate 24-inch long square that you could really use to count on it being square is pretty fantastic. So look, their product line is amazing. And the best part about it is the thing that a lot of people give them crap for. Some of their stuff is a hit and some of it's a miss, but it's very personal. A hit for me might be a miss for someone else. And I love that there's a company out there like Woodpeckers that is taking the time to make these super niche tools like this. So anyway, you got to take advantage of it. Go check it out at your local Woodcraft store. Mark your calendar, September 12th and 13th. Join in the fun and get out to that local Woodcraft store. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this because these are upcoming demos. I'm going to say it anyway, but maybe I'll get in trouble. But in the coming months, they're doing more of these. So 2 that are coming up, Jessam, another great company to get your hands on some of the stuff and see it in person. That would be great. And Craig as well. So you can get that hands on, get those demos and go check it out and maybe get a discount.
I can't believe
future ones will.
So this is like every store on the 12th and the 13th.
Yep.
That sounds like a logistic nightmare.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, somebody's got to do it at each store.
That's crazy.
Hopefully it works out for them, but it sounds like a great idea. It's a win for anybody who shows up. And just real quick, don't forget, that Just Get Started campaign is still rolling right along. So head over to woodcraft.com/start. If you're looking for a little inspiration, you need a kick in the butt to get started.
Kick in the butt.
A little swift kick in the pants. They're going to do that for you.
Head over to your local Woodcraft store and have one of the employees kick you in the butt.
They sure will. All right. Well, thank you,
Marc sent you.
Maybe they'll take you behind the curtain.
Maybe. Got to show your ID first.
Behind the beaded curtain.
All right.
Broom. This got me thinking, and this has nothing, we'll just call it an extension of Woodpeckers, but like people often, and I have done it in the past, like, oh, you're spending all that money on that T-square, but like I built a case project recently out of plywood and used my Festool track saw to cut all the plywood down. So precision, expensive tool, spent a lot of time lining up the track on my lines to get everything, checked it with a square. What square do you think I was using? I was using a cheap old, like, big box store drywall square.
Yeah.
So like all this effort to create a beautiful smooth cut, but I'm like lining it up on this square that is not square and then expecting it all to come together. Oh, believe me, it bit me in the end. And I was like, man, like I was right on my line. Oh, right. Yeah. Sometimes you might want to spend money on the simple things like layout tools.
When I got that big square, it's like ended up being one of the most common use cases for it is like an edge guide, a square edge guide for a track saw, or for the beam saw. You can just clamp that square wherever you want. You can butt either your track saw to it if it's like a longer cut, or if you're only cutting the 26 inches that the blade is, you can use it against your the shoe on your circular saw.
Yeah, I mean the blade is like a 1/4 inch thick, so
I mean that's part of it.
Ain't going anywhere.
Like your average stamped steel from Lowe's or Home Depot is like really skinny, which of course just means it flexes even more the more you use it.
Yeah, nice, cool. So here's a question: how many of us still have one of those drywall squares in the shop?
It's still there only because I haven't done anything with it.
I still have it. I'm not sure why. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I still have it.
It's hanging on the back of my hand tool cabinet where you can't see it.
Nice.
It's out in the barn for when I do drywall.
Yeah, well, go get your forklift, pick it up, and bring it back over to the shop.
Yes. That's how I got it out there. They got carried it out there. You crazy?
No.
You realize how far that is?
I put it on a pallet and I forked the whole pallet out of there.
Yeah, this thing's made of solid aluminum. Come on.
It's big. It's 4 feet long. I'm not going to pick that up.
Did you ratchet it down to the pallet too so that it didn't shift?
Yeah, there you go.
I might have.
All right, let's
pallet wrapped it. I have a wrapping machine in the shop here in the corner. I just wrap the whole pallet before it goes up to the barn. You
got that little foam gun too that you use for the chair kits.
I do have that. Yeah, I can pack things very nicely.
You really
make custom packing for whatever you want.
There's a box in the barn just labeled frame square, and it's just this.
It fits perfectly. You don't want to knock it out of square. You got to be careful.
Right. I mean, it's a cheapo thing. You could look at it crooked and it gets out of square. You got to shrink wrap it.
Oh boy.
Oh man, I got custom packaged molded inserts for all my stuff. Take your Kaizen foam and throw out the window, man. I made my own little inserts for everything.
That's the best. I want to see a reel of that real soon.
They should have dropped the Ark of the Covenant off at Matt's place.
I feel like as a joke, I need to do that for my toolbox, my snap-on box with my screwdrivers or something. Just use a spray foam gun and just set them all in there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is the stupid viral content that actually does well. Things that don't actually matter. But
yeah.
Oh man. I'm getting ideas. This is good.
Well, I mean, along those lines, my best performing reel that I've had in 6 months was me having a stupid reaction to someone else's video where they showed a woodcraft store and I saw the Wood Talk sign inside the store.
That did well for you?
Yes.
Well, huh?
I mean,
nice.
Relatively speaking, compared to my normal crap.
If you think about it, I watched it and I rarely watch your stuff. So
okay. Well, there you go.
That's the thing. It's amazing.
It was the Marc floating head effect.
Yeah, that low effort. And I hate those videos, by the way. Like when I see, let me see the original video. I don't need to see some douche noodle sitting there with their head in the corner. And it's, sorry, Shannon. Those videos drive me nuts. And sometimes that's
this
the
is
only
the episode
version
where water comes out Shannon's nose.
Yeah.
That's our title. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. We've got questions from you guys. We're going to try to answer them.
Another beautiful mid-roll for Woodcraft right there.
There you go.
Hey, this is what they're paying for. The good stuff.
True.
Okay. David Gold wrote in. He says, I have a local beekeeper that I buy honey off of, and recently he started selling beeswax, so I thought I'd buy some off him out of a desire to use it to create an all-natural finish for my woodworking projects. I'll probably start with smaller projects first to see how it goes, but I was wondering if any of you have ever tried to make your own finishes and if you've had good experience with it. I know a lot of people will use it for things like cutting boards and bowls and things that require food-safe finish, wondering if this would also be good for tables and larger projects, or is the time and effort needed to make this kind of finish not worth it for a larger project like a dining table or cabinets? Thanks for any input. Love you guys and love the show. He also said congratulations on repurposing the old playset. That's a video that's actually coming out this Friday, where I took my old playset and turned it into a garden bed. I guess he used to work for one, and he says occasionally they would tear them down, remove old playsets, and have wood left over from the jobs. They would take the wood home and repurpose it for different projects, so pretty cool. Okay, beeswax. So yes, I have done this. I've used beeswax. I've done wax mixtures with beeswax and carnauba wax, and absolutely, this is a very common thing to do. It actually can be very fun because it's low stakes. You just get your favorite oil, some kind of a linseed oil or a tung oil. You just kind of warm it up over a hot plate and add your wax to it, and the wax will melt in. Depending on how much wax, that's where the experimenting comes from. How much wax you put in there and at what temperature you use this solution will dictate like the viscosity and the consistency of it. So add more wax, let it cool down. You can get up to the point where it's just like a paste and almost like a paste wax that you could put on tools and stuff like that to keep them from rusting. But certainly something you could use as a finish. You do have to be aware that the beeswax is a lower melting point. It's also softer as a result. You mix it with something like carnauba wax, that's a little bit harder. Definitely something that can get you to more of a bit of a polish a little bit easier because it's harder. It's got a higher melting point. So you'll find a lot of people will make their own custom blends. You can change the oil out and you can play with the wax ratio and percentages to get the consistency of finish you want. Ultimately, though, all of it, I feel like falls under what we would just call an classic oil wax finish. And whether that's good enough for your furniture is really up to you. Because I generally would not want most of my furniture finished that way because it's an incredibly low luster finish, limited amount of protection, and high chance for having to retouch it at some point in the future. But it's all natural. It's going to smell pretty good. It's going to be something that isn't too offensive to work with. And you know exactly what's in it because you made it. So there is some potential there, but there's also drawbacks. I don't think it's going to be the best finish in the world. But for some people, that would be fine on a dining table. You just got to know what you're getting into and whether you want that. So I don't know. Have you guys ever done bigger pieces with that kind of finish?
No, not bigger pieces. No, it's way too soft.
Yeah.
But same type of thing. I had a beekeeper and he's like, you want some of the wax? I'm like, sure. And it was like backed the truck up to the shop and dropped wax off. Like I have enough beeswax to last till the sun burns out around here. So I was like, what can I do with this? I use it, like I have a block of it, 3 different places around the shop for like waxing saws, waxing hand planes. I actually prefer it over the paraffin because I find it is actually a little bit harder than the paraffin. I don't know if that's real or not. It feels harder when I put it onto the plane. But ironically, what I use it for is tools around the shop, not rust prevention, but like my wooden squares, my wooden frame saws. And I found making it, like I just don't have the patience for mixing my own finishes most of the time. I'm like, General Finishes knows what they're doing. Osmo knows what they're doing. I trust them. I'll just buy their product. But I found that I really couldn't screw it up. Like if I put a little bit of wax in, obviously I had a lower viscosity finish. If you create that paste, I loved the paste. And I think that's what like Schwarz is doing with this soft wax polish that he's marketing lately. I know there's a lot more to it, but it's really nice to have this kind of lower viscosity paste that I'll make like a wooden tri-square or miter square and I just keep a rag in there and just wipe it on. And it gives it this lovely kind of soft feel to the tool. Oh yeah. And it's super easy to renew. So, I mean, yeah, it's not durable in the slightest, but I don't really care. It makes my wooden tools look pretty.
Yeah. And I think if you don't mind having like a little natural patina develop on something like a dining table that shows its use and abuse, and you see a big enough scratch, you just grab a little bit of your magic solution and rub a little bit in. It's perfectly repairable. You know, if you need to, that's the good thing. So most of the time when you see people use a light duty finish like this, it's either going to be on a small decorative item or it's going to be on something that you know is going to have the crap beat out of it. A cutting board, a workbench, a countertop. These are areas where you know they are going to get beat up. So it's not if, it's when. And repairability becomes more important. So you have to refresh the surface more often to keep it looking good. So that's totally up to you though, David, if that fits the bill for what you're looking for in your furniture. Okay, that's all I got.
There's another question in here under you, Mark. Did you put that in
no,
by
that
accident?
was an extra one. You can ignore that.
Okay. This is from Brandon. He says, I have my grandfather's old handsaw. It's a Distin & Sons from 1890 to 1920, according to what I've found. I would like to display it along with some other vintage tools from my great-grandfather and grandfather, who were both carpenters. Should I try to clean up the saw or should I leave it alone? The blade is very patinaed and the handle is very dry, so I considered doing a couple of coats of boiled linseed oil on it. I know it's hard for you to answer the question without seeing the saw, but what is your opinion? Well, my opinion doesn't really matter because it's what you want to do. My opinion is normally to put these tools back to use, but I would kind of be in the same boat. Like if it were that, first of all, if you had that personal connection with it, like it's easy for me to say that if I don't know where the saw came from. I just know it's vintage. I want to put it back to use. But like if it was my grandfather's saw or my great grandfather's saw, I could see wanting to protect it and keep it. And I think it would have a place of honor on my wall. So you want to, I think you need to ask yourself, what do you want it to look like as far as, do you want to remove that patina? Certainly, as far as the handle goes, try to take it off. If it's super dry, and you got to really put some torque into the screws. And sometimes it's not so much getting the screws out, but also just getting it off the blade. If you're worried about breaking it, then just wipe the linseed oil directly onto the handle. Ideally, you want to be able to take it off. If it's dry, soak it. The saw handle is small enough that you could dump it in Tupperware and just pour it over linseed oil and let it soak for 24 hours. Take it out, obviously, after that point, or you get a really gooey mess later. But I think it could be really worthwhile. And then just kind of going and wiping it back as it pushes more oil out over the next couple of days. And that's going to make it look really nice, but also kind of moisturize it and kind of keep it from being brittle over time. Personally, I don't mind the look of a heavily patinaed saw, but I do think there's a difference between dull, rusty, gross and a polished patina. So if you wanted to remove the patina, there are some, Klingspor makes a product called Sandflex blocks. You can actually get them at Woodcraft, our sponsor. So I'll post a link into that. They make them in coarse, medium, and I think fine grits. They're just these, what are you calling? They disintegrate. That's the word I'm looking for.
Would you say it is friable? Is that a term you would
That's
use?
the word I was looking for. Yes, friable.
Okay.
Like water stones. They are friable.
Yep. Or certain types of sandpaper.
Yeah, it's just really good for kind of getting some of the heavier patina, some of the dirt and kind of the gunk off, and it helps to polish it up. And then I grab Wizard's Power Seal, which is it's a metal polish. This just happens to be a brand. This is one that Bad Axe Toolworks put me onto. Got a couple bottles of this, and it's just a white paste with a very, very, tiny bit of grit. It's almost like tile cleaner or something like that. But that takes a patina and it turns it in kind of this golden, somewhat shiny patina. It's a very different look. And I think in some ways that actually looks cooler if you're displaying the saw on your wall than removing all of the patina and having super shiny saw left. So you get that vintage kind of, that was my great grandfather's. I mean, most metal polishes work for you, but I'll post a link to this. I bought it through Bad Axe Toolworks. You probably could Google it and find it on Amazon if you want, but I like Bad Axe. Send them some cash.
There you go.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess
nothing else to say.
This last one here then. From Ben. Can I run these through planer?
Well worded.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm wondering if there's any issues to pass these through a stock DW3 735. Wow. Okay. A leftover red oak, 2 1/4 inch wide, 3/4 inch thick flooring that have the grooves on the bottom side. Can I run those through with the bottom side up to remove the grooves? And then the other option here is a 12-inch square butcher block cutting board, not end grain, that I want to restore. My only concern is there may be oil soaked in the board. I say for number one, yeah, for both these, you can run anything you want through your planer, depending on, if you want your planer to still exist afterwards.
As we're going to find out with our hit new channel that is
Will It Plane?
Will It Plane? Anything will plane.
Oh gosh, but you get a metal planer and start playing steel. So the first one I think is pretty easy and obvious. It's just wood. There's nothing crazy going on there. The only thing you might have there is if it's been installed before, maybe you've got staples or cleats still in there that you want to check for. That might end up nicking your blades. Otherwise, if it's new wood that has never been installed, it's really no different than running any other board that is red oak through your planer. So that one I was like, yeah, that's not really, there's no concern there at all. The other one, having oil soaked into the board, it's more of a how you feel about your planer kind of thing. And if it actually has actual oil still in the board, the biggest thing here is you may end up with gumming up the internals of your planer. Either the knives will get a bunch of pitch or something gummed stuff on them, or your rollers might become dirty. So there's that. So in this case, you may end up having to clean the inside of your planer after using it. I'm more on the side of it's a planer. It's meant to save me time and to remove material. So I'm going to send whatever I want through there. I get this response a lot when I show myself squaring up a log on my jointer, because that's a quick way to get a nice square reference is just to throw a thing over the jointer and be done with it. The best way to keep your tools sharp, never use them. That's my mantra with this. They'll stay sharp forever if you never use them.
All right. Well,
yeah. Every time I use a hand plane on teak, people are like, I can't believe using a hand plane on teek. It's like, that's what sharpening's for.
It's also like, this is what tools are for. They're meant to like save you time and do things.
What's the alternative? To just not do it?
Not use it?
Good question. I guess not. Yeah. So here's I never really thought about this, but like what say there's a bunch of oil in this cutting board, and you were worried about it. You didn't want to gum it up. What if you just like pour some like naphtha or like solvent over top of it, let it soak in a little bit, and then run it through the planer? What's the worst going to happen? You're just going to have some naphtha. You might actually clean your blades in the process. You might end up with a better cutting planer.
All that's going to do is waste some naphtha.
Yeah.
It's not going to get rid of the oil. The oil, if anything, will just kind of go down deeper. But we're talking about, it's not end grain. So he also said the key word is that maybe the oil is soaked into board. He doesn't really know, which means it's probably surface level. First pass, this is gone, not an issue.
It also depends like how deep a cut you're making too. If you're making like some kind of like weird, really shallow pass, you're like basically rubbing. Pass. Yeah, like a Spagnolo pass. You're basically burnishing the surface with your knives versus if you're actually planing, you're scooping down through like past all of the waste and then scooping as the cutter head comes up through the cut. It's pulling that stuff out of the cut away from the cutter head.
This also makes me think with that flooring, it sounds like if he's just doing the grooves, he's not too concerned about the other face. But I have had experiences with commercial flooring that's been factory finished. And sometimes that finish that's on there is hard, like seriously hard and kind of scary for the straight blade planer to burn through. But like you said, Matt, sometimes you get up under that finish.
Yeah, you're scooping it away.
Yeah, and maybe it will come out a little bit better, but that's the only concern I have.
I get this like a lot because I do use my planer utilitarianly.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it, and a lot of people have done this like with like painted wood. They're running these little like light passes that like barely getting through the paint, so they're like literally the paint is being rubbed into the blades, abrading them. Versus when I'm doing it, I'm all the way through the paint or the surface level, whatever the finish, into new wood.
Yeah.
Two full rotations of that wheel, pulling 1/8 of an inch off the wood.
Chipping it off the top.
That's a light cut. 3 or 4 is ideally kind of where I'm. If I'm doing there, like something like that wide, I would pull that groove off in one pass with a 1/4 inch pass, however deep it is. One pass done. But that's what this style stationary planer. You can't do that probably as easily with a benchtop planer like the
I can't take a super light pass with my Grizzly. I get feed roller marks.
That's the other problem too. Yeah.
If I'm below, like I think I can get a 30-second without showing feed roller marks, but if I go like a touch on the wheel lighter than a 30-second, I get feed roller marks. So.
Me too, except for mine's at 5,000ths.
Oh really?
Ooh.
If I can go to 10,000ths, perfectly clean 5,000ths, it just gives me little lines on it. That's what Felder gets you, baby. And Matt, you know the best part of it? The best part?
You never do big cuts?
Little tiny, little baby cuts. So what I have on my planer, I have a gauge. Same thing on my joiner, a gauge. The 16ths are labeled with an S, and then the quarters are labeled with a C for Cremona. That's how my scale is based. Spagnolos and Cremonas.
I was planing stickers as part of my cleanup thing, and they're only like 7/8 of an inch wide, and I'm trying to like remove a bunch of material, and I was like, why? I need a planer that can do more than a 1/4 inch in a pass, because after at a 1/4 inch, you start heating the casting.
You hit the casting, right?
Right. You can't actually physically fit anything bigger.
It doesn't physically fit, right?
Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking maybe is there another planer out there that I can get that actually you can get like 3/8 or a 1/2 inch under between the bed and the whatever.
Yeah.
To sneak it in there.
I got one of the yard. You want it?
The planer can handle it because it's only less than an inch wide. It's a strip.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. I don't want to do a bunch of passes or guess or whatever. I just want to send it through and be done.
I love it. I love your style.
One pass Matt. That's what we call me.
That's what I've always called you. That's for sure. All right. Well, I think that's actually going to do it for us today. Remember, this show is made possible by the generous contributions of our patrons. You can go to patreon.com/woodtalk to find out more. And of course, our friends over at Woodcraft supporting the show, really, doing the things we need them to do so that we can do the things that we want to do. And you guys can listen to the stuff you want to listen to. I don't know where this is going.
Really stretching things now.
I'm trying hard.
As if we didn't know you were from Jersey. That just, wow.
It'll let you know.
Doing the things we got to do so they can do the things we want to do, you know?
Okay. Well, there's always something cool going down at your local stores, so always check the website at woodcraft.com. And don't forget, this month, actually, no, we got, 2 weeks between shows, so it's not all month. It's just one show length of time. Get your Wood River number 91 small shoulder plane. I won't even take it out of the box. I'll leave it whole. I might even throw in a couple of Woodcraft stickers with it into the package. Maybe a couple Wood Whisperer stickers too. I'm not going to read that URL again.
Maybe some Wood Talk stickers.
Oh, that's right.
The show you're on right now.
Listen, my promotional skills are next level. Thank you very much. You're going to want to go to the post on our website at woodtalkshow.com to find this link because it is stupid. And this, by the way, is the shorter version of the link.
Of course it is.
Go in there, give us some of that info, and we will pick a winner randomly. And again, US only, please. We'll select the winners for the next show.
Are you ready?
I think we're ready. Let's find out what's going on
All right, I'm gonna
locally.
Quick drink of water here.
Yep, get a drink. Here comes Ad Reading Matt.
Wow.
Gonna warm up the lungs here.
The audio listeners, sorry for that.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We got free local events. Make sure you check your local stores for all the things going on because there's always something going on at your local woodcraft store. On top of everything I'm about to share. All September, Parkersburg, Cincinnati, and Roanoke Woodcraft stores are having the Box Making Bonanza. Submit a box for your chance to win a Woodcraft gift card. Woodcraft of Hawaii is having vendor sale weeks all month in September, including brands like Makita, DeWalt, Milwaukee, Stabila, and Bosch, just to name a few. September 5th through 7th, Omaha Woodcraft is having their whale of a sale. 15% off Rikon tools and accessories, 10% off select tools and accessories, 20% off wood, 50% off nearly everything else. Free demos and door prizes on Saturday, September 6th. Also, September 6th at the Seattle Woodcraft, they're having their 7th annual tool swap. Also, September 6th, Woodcraft of Indianapolis will host their Family Day, projects for kids, 50% off store-wide giveaways, fast food, just food.
No McDonald's, no, just food.
Just food, regular food, and special guests from Central Indiana
food.
Woodworks, Fishers,
Just
Makers
slow
Playground,
food.
Circle City Carvers Festival, and Wood Miser. September 13th from 10 to 2, the Woodcraft of Grand Rapids will host a tool swap and shop. And the big one, October 4th through 5th, Pacific Northwest Woodworking and Maker Expo, presented by Woodcraft, held at Expo Idaho in Boise. Woodworking vendors, makers selling handmade goods, educational seminars, and tool sale. Tickets and details are available now at woodmakerexpo.com.
Heck yeah, Matt. Nice
Boom.
job.
Wow.
Slow food.
Wow.
That's what we learned this time.
Have you been practicing?
I warmed up.
Okay. All right. You warmed up real good. Nice.
That was
How long was that? I blacked out.
So did everybody else. It's okay. This list just keeps getting longer. I try to squeeze as many in as possible, but seriously, what Matt said at the beginning, check your local store. We can't get everything in there. We can't get all the details in there.
I can't say that many things. I'm sorry.
It's just too much. But if you didn't hear your store, guaranteed there's something going on the end of this month and the month of September. So go check that out.
right on. I don't know how to follow that, but
You just
hey,
don't.
send questions to woodtalkshow.com. I'm out. No.
I'm out.
Just send us an email, woodtalkshow@gmail.com. Don't forget about the giveaway. Go to the show notes. I write them every show. No one ever looks at them. So please see our site traffic go up for once. That'd be great.
Is that
Looking forward to
possible still?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I haven't seen it happen anywhere.
Do we even have Google Analytics on the site anymore? Like, who knows?
Does it matter?
GA2.
Who knows? Anyway. All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. We really appreciate you hanging out with us for however long this was. Almost an hour today. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And you guys have a great week, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
I will catch you later.